Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we will talk about the text tool. So press on this icon, which is T, or press on the T on the keyboard and click anywhere in your artboard. Like this you can write anything. I'll write Adobe XD and then I'll go click on the selection tool, and with this circle, if you just click and drag, you can play with the size. Over here we have the properties for the text. We have all of the transform controls. They are the same as the shape tools. And then we have the text. These are specific for the text. So we have the type of the font. You can change the font to anything that you want. You can use arrow keys to change the font like this. I'm pressing the down arrow key. And over here you can play with the size. It's similar to this one. When you resize it like this, it's the same. And then each font has some versions. Some of them, they don't have any versions, but let me choose one of the fonts that has more than one version. For example, this one, it has regular and bold. There are some that has many versions. I will just choose another one. This one also has the bold and regular. I'll write Roboto. This font has a lot of versions. So it has regular, italic, thin, and bold, semi-bold, many things. Over here, you can play with the space between the letters. If you increase it, the space between the letter will be increased, as you can see. Okay, and then we have the space between the lines and then paragraphs. So right now we are using the point text. We need to change it to the area text so these options be available for us, because they are not working. We have the alignments and also the space between lines and paragraphs. They don't work because it's a point text. But then if we click on this icon, it will be an area text. Now we can play with the box without resizing the text itself. So you can write anything and it will be within this box. I'm going to write something. Okay. And now anything that you write outside the box, like this, when you click outside the box, it will not be available. So just like this, you can increase the size of the box to be available. And now we can play with the size or the space between the lines. As you can see, just like this, we can play with the spacing. Okay, and then we have the space between the paragraph. For that, I will need more paragraphs. I will make the size of the text small, copy all of it, and press enter. And paste it below, just like this. I'll increase the size of the box. Right now we can play with the size of the space between the paragraphs. As you can see, we can change it. So I love it also is going down because I pressed enter when I wrote that, so I'll just remove that enter, click on this area and press delete for this one as well. So now we only change the space between these two paragraphs. Now I can, if I write anything else, I'll just write something. So now it's a part of the paragraph. But if you press enter and write it like this, when you press enter, you start a new paragraph. So the space between them will be the one that you set there. By clicking on this one, we can change the the area text to the point text again. So right now it's no longer a text area. We can always change it back to the area text. Okay, so over here we have the alignment. You can align it to the left, right, and in the middle. Let me remove this one, and we are going to create a new text. It will be a point text. I'll write Adobe XD. Let me change the space between the letters. Okay, you need to select the text first. I will go to the selection tool, select it, and then change the spacing between the letters like this. Now let's cover this. This one makes it uppercase, all of them. This makes it lower cases, and this one makes the first letter uppercase and the other one lower cases. Then we have superscript and subscript. If I select this one, this is what superscript does. And this is what the subscript does. Then we have the underline. You can put a line under your word. You can also put a line in the middle of the word. So that's it. And then we have the opacity. You can play with the opacity, and you have the color, the fill color, and we have the border color, just like the shapes. Here you can change the size of the border or the stroke and play with all of these settings. We already covered this with the shape tools. So yeah, this changed the corners of the stroke, just like the other one. We already covered this in the previous lesson. And then we have the shadow. You can add the shadow just like the other shapes. And we have the background blur. The background blur just works like the other ones that we covered in the previous lesson. You will need something behind it. Let's create a shape. And I will move it below or behind the text, just like this. And then I'm going to change the color for it. Let's move it over here and change the color so we can see it. I'll choose this purple. And now if you move it, you will see that the blur, it blurs what is behind it. Okay guys, this is all about the text. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I'll see you in the next lesson, and we will be talking about the images. See you there. Bye bye.